Every single day, doctors and nurses face a barrage of high-stakes decisions. Every shift, choices come fast, life and death. They are forced to make judgments under pressure, often with incomplete information. Who is truly sick and needs immediate attention? Who can safely wait? Which patient requires an invasive test? Which one can be monitored? These are not abstract academic questions. They are the bread and butter of clinical practice. The consequences ripple through the lives of real people, their families, the healthcare system itself. A correct decision can avert a crisis, prevent lifelong disability, save a life. An incorrect one, however well-intentioned, can lead to unnecessary harm, delayed treatment. The weight of this responsibility is immense. This constant decision-making is exhausting. It is a form of cognitive labor prone to error, especially at the end of a long shift. We are all human, and our judgments are susceptible to biases. Fatigue. The simple limitations of our memory and experience. We might over-investigate because of a recent bad case, or under-investigate because something seems unlikely. The sheer volume of medical knowledge is expanding at an impossible rate. No single clinician can hold all relevant evidence in their head. We rely on heuristics, rules of thumb, pattern recognition. Into this challenging environment comes the promise of technology. So, what exactly are these clinical prediction models? Let's strip away the jargon and the marketing gloss. At its core, a clinical prediction model is a tool that uses pieces of information about a patient to estimate the probability of a specific outcome. Show it like a simple inputs to model to risk diagram. Think of it like a recipe. You take several ingredients, the patient's age, their vital signs, the results of a few blood tests. Then you follow a set of instructions, the model's algorithm, to produce a final dish, a prediction. This prediction might be the patient's risk of developing a serious infection in the next 48 hours, or the likelihood that they will need to be admitted to the intensive care unit. These models are not a new invention. Simple versions have been a part of medicine for decades. For example, a doctor might add up points based on a patient's symptoms and history to decide if they are at high risk for a heart attack. What has changed is the complexity and scale. They can analyze hundreds, even thousands of variables, searching for subtle and complex patterns. They learn from the data of countless past patients to make predictions about the future. A good model could act as an early warning system, flagging a patient who is beginning to deteriorate long before symptoms become obvious. This could provide a crucial window of opportunity for early intervention, potentially preventing a catastrophic event. They could also help us use resources more wisely. By accurately identifying low-risk patients, a model could help us avoid unnecessary, expensive, sometimes harmful tests. It is about augmenting clinical intelligence, not replacing it. However, this power comes with a significant catch. The model is only as good as the data it was built from, and the problem it was designed to solve. A model is a black box of sorts. You put patient information in, and a risk score comes out. But if the data used to build that box was flawed, or if the box was designed to answer the wrong question, then the output it produces will be, at best, meaningless, and at worst, dangerously misleading. This is why we cannot afford to be passive consumers of this technology. Every clinician and hospital leader has a responsibility to understand the basics of how to scrutinize these tools. We must become critical appraisers of models, just as we are of clinical trials. But hope and hype are dangerous companions in medicine. The landscape is flooded with new models from tech companies, researchers, and hospital IT, promising to predict sepsis, acute kidney injury, readmissions, even mortality. The first and most fundamental question we must ask is deceptively simple. Is there a real clinical need for this model? The world of medical technology is filled with clever solutions in search of a problem. A model might be mathematically elegant, published in a top journal, and capable of stunning accuracy. But if that prediction does not change a decision a clinician has to make, it is clinically useless. A model must plug directly into a specific, tangible decision point in the patient's journey. Think about a busy emergency department, deciding whether a patient with a head injury needs an urgent CT scan. A model that accurately predicts very low risk could support observing instead of scanning. That addresses a clear need. In contrast, a generic 30-day mortality prediction may be accurate but not actionable. Without a pathway or intervention, it becomes data noise, cluttering the record and contributing to alert fatigue. So, map the exact decision. Who makes it? When they need info, and what actions are available. The goal is better decisions, not prediction for its own sake. A prediction model is a creature of data. It learns its patterns, its rules, and its biases entirely from development data. Garbage in, garbage out. If training data are messy, incomplete, or inaccurate, the model will be flawed. No fancy math can rescue bad data. Imagine predicting acute kidney injury using creatinine. Recording errors or missing measurements distort reality. A model might learn that a missing test equals low risk, when it really meant the patient was too unstable for a blood draw. Outcome labels are critical. For sepsis, ask, how was sepsis defined? Objective or subjective? Training patients must resemble your patients. One urban academic center won't generalize to a rural hospital. Adults won't generalize to children. Underrepresentation of racial or ethnic groups, women, or lower socioeconomic groups can worsen disparities. Be a data detective. Ask for the model card, provenance, size, period, missing data handling, demographics, comorbidities, and outcome definitions. A model that performs brilliantly on its training data is like a student who aces a test after being given the answer key. Complex models can memorize noise and the idiosyncrasies of their home dataset, overfitting. The single most important evidence is external validation. Test on different hospitals, regions, and time periods. Like cars tested by independent teams in varied weather over many miles. A single center study, however well done, is not enough. One validation helps. Multiple validations across diverse sites are far stronger. A site down the road is weak. A different country and system is much stronger. If you can't find published external validation, it is unproven. Consider a local validation as research. External validation is a safety requirement. A prediction model can be the most accurate in the world, but if its required inputs are impossible to obtain in time, it is practically worthless. This is the reality check. Examine the model's variables and ask, can we get this data easily and reliably when we need it? Many models rely on inputs not routinely collected in practice. If a condition evolves over hours, a 24-hour input delay makes the model useless. Useful models use common, readily available data. Vital signs, basic demographics, rapid blood tests. Prefer automatic EHR polls. Manual typing and click burden doom adoption. The best models work silently in the background, integrated into workflow. Small format differences can break a model. Audit every input and map it precisely in your records. Even if a model is accurate, addresses a real need, and uses readily available inputs, it can still fail if its output is not timely and actionable. A prediction is only useful if it arrives in time to influence a decision and clearly communicates what to do next. A warning that arrives after a patient has crashed is not a warning. A cryptic risk score without guidance causes confusion. For AKI, the model must scan new labs and vitals in near real time to provide an early alert. Ask how quickly it processes inputs. Seconds or minutes enable bedside action. Hours deliver stale info. Link risk to clear recommendations. Use tiers like low, routine monitoring, medium, increase vitals frequency, high, escalate, consider ICU transfer. Do not force separate logins. Embed alerts and orders directly into the EHR. Present information clearly and concisely. Highlight the key finding and recommended action. To make these principles concrete, let's look at 2 examples from the real world. First, a clear success story. The Wells score for predicting pulmonary embolism. A PE is a blood clot in the lungs. It is dangerous and can be difficult to diagnose. The Wells score is a simple prediction model, a straightforward bedside checklist. It awards points for recent surgery, a fast heart rate, and signs of a clot in the leg. It excels on all our tests and has been externally validated worldwide. Its output is actionable. Risk tiers direct D-dimer testing or CT scanning. It safely rules out PE in low-risk patients, avoiding unnecessary radiation and cost. Now, a common failure, the single-center mortality prediction model. Trained on one institution's EHR, it looks spectacular on paper. But performance drops when tested at other hospitals, and the output lacks actionability. The ultimate responsibility for patient safety rests with the clinicians and leaders at the front line. You are the gatekeepers. It is up to you to ensure any new prediction model is safe, effective, and fair before it touches a single patient. You do not need to be a data scientist, just a skeptical, critical appraiser. This is not about obstructing innovation. It is about guiding it responsibly. First, define the problem. What specific clinical decision will this model change? If none, stop. Find the development paper and, crucially, External validations. Second, scrutinize the data. Source, representativeness by age, sex, ethnicity, conditions, and how missing data were handled. Third, audit the inputs. List every variable. Confirm availability, reliability, automation, and matching formats in your EHR. Fourth, interrogate the output. Is it just a score or linked to clear evidence-based recommendations embedded seamlessly and timely? Fifth, plan a local test. Run it silently on recent patients and compare local performance to published reports. Finally, check fairness across subgroups and plan to monitor performance continually after go live. Models can do enormous good, but also cause harm through biased advice, delayed diagnoses, and alert fatigue. Treat them like powerful medical interventions. Scrutinize them as you would a new drug or surgical procedure. So, take the first step today. Pick one model your hospital uses or is considering.